Hello to my Libras. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Happy full moon in Capricorn. The 7-7 portal is still open, right? Quite a few things you can do while the portal is still open. And it's an energetic window, right? So 7-7 is the peak, right? That's the peak of that energetic window being open. So there's still things that you can do, like journal. What truth are you awakening to? That's one. You can also, number two, you can meditate or visualize stepping through a radiant doorway. All of this is going to be around what generational cycle chain or curse that you're breaking, right? You don't necessarily need a prayer partner. You can pray to source yourself as a Libra, right? Even though you all are a relationship zodiac sign, this is where you're being in relationship with source, right? The creator. Another thing you all can do is set your or refine your intentions. You can also, number 4, do energy clearing or spiritual protection work. And then number 5, listen closely to signs, synchronicities, and repeating number patterns. Okay, let's get into it. There's no rush. It's the portal is open until the 11th. So if you're watching this on the 10th, you have another day. And usually with the tower moment, you're asking source, what exactly is my generational cycle chain and curse that I need to break? You can, if you're a card reader, you can pull your own cards on that. And source will let you know. You can journal about it. Just take a minute. Just like, but if you're not a reader and you have a favorite reader, you can schedule some time. That would be a great question to ask. What generational cycle chain and curse, am I assigned to break in my own family? Right? I am safe and protected. And that I am is source, right? That is actually Aries, your polarity signs, which rules first house, by the way. So find out what your zodiac sign is in your first house. And you can pull your birth chart for free. You don't need your time of birth to pull your birth chart. You can go to Google if you all don't know about birth charts. If you're new to birth charts, and just type in free birth charts. Populate some information there. But we're going to dive right into your tarot here. All right. So yeah, what generational cycle chain or curse is Libra breaking, right? Source is going to tell you first, okay? So readers are just confirming what source already told you first. That's how it works. Source tells you first, and then we're just confirming. But confirmation can come from anything. It can come from numbers. It can come from a sermon that you heard in church, mosque, or temple. It can come from a burning bush, a talking donkey. It can come from a book that you're reading, a television show that you're watching. And literally, confirmation can come from anywhere. Smells, colors, signs, all over the place. When you're trying to find out, okay, I'm trying to break generational cycle chains and curse. It seems like everybody else is doing it, but what exactly is my generational cycle chain and curse that I need to break? This moon in Capricorn is really about setting boundaries while you're trying to figure some things out and get real serious about it. Like, I'm trying to aim higher. I'm trying to do, especially if you have parents that said, I want my child to do better than my generation did, and you want your kids to do better than your generation. You're trying to ascend higher, even if you didn't, and you're trying to do better. Source is saying you're safe and protected. You're safe and protected, right? And the great I am is source. Yeah, you're waking up from nightmares, right? What somebody's getting ready to stop doing is talking to other people, reliving other people's nightmares. That's doing an injustice to people. Stop talking to people who keep helping you to relive nightmares. There's a Sagittarius in a situation that source needs you to end, to stop talking to them, because they're responsible for a nightmare. Find out what your sign is in your 9th house. Start journaling. A Sagittarius did something behind your back, either in physical court or spiritual court. There it is. Emotionally, you're going to feel like you hit the jackpot. You had a feeling about something. You was like, oh my God, I had a feeling. And here it is. Bam. First card out the deck. Behind your back. Somebody spoke against you in open court, like behind your back. So emotionally, you feel like, I knew it. First card out the deck. I can't even believe it. You're saying, let's wrap this thing up. Now you're saying, I need to create a very, very firm boundary. So it's two sides of a sword, but something happened, something about an Aries, something about somebody decided that they were going to do something their way or the highway, which created a nightmare for you. They split you and somebody up, right? And they were an open enemy. This could have been a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, somebody from the other side of the family did something behind your back in court that caused you and somebody else nightmares, and you had a feeling about something. And so now it's time to create very, very firm boundaries. That's going to be the new tradition. New tradition. Because somebody has been having nightmares because of these energies, just constantly doing stuff behind your back and just having no regard for your position. So judgment is coming down on these energies for crossing a boundary, for saying something about you behind your back to end a relationship with someone that because they wanted their wishes fulfilled, they created something. They created something to bring judgment down on you. So they crossed way over a boundary. So now you have to do something new. I'm saying Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, because something has ended now. Something is over. They're asking why, because your wishes are now fulfilled. And there that you push that spell work right back. Judgment is coming down on somebody for what they did. They overstepped the boundary. Way overstepped the boundary by creating something. But something is over now. So now you got to create something new to protect, you and someone else. Protect yourself. Yep, you and someone else. Something for somebody in a poisonous environment. There could have been drinking going on. There could have been a lot of stuff going on. Something in them died. Like basically just hearing something about ending of these energies were so obsessed with creating a nightmare for you. These are family members. They didn't even stop to think that it could be hurting, your kids. And so source is saying to you, as far as you're concerned, it's a wrap for them, for real. You're creating such a firm boundary. If they ever overstep a boundary again, they won't get a chance to, because legally, you're putting an end to something. These are family members that did this. They created something just because somebody went to them and they were open book. They had all these ideas and they were the wrong ideas. Had somebody walking around, this is a younger person, had them feeling like they were walking on eggshells. These sound like in-laws. These sound like in-laws and some of your family members, possibly the ones that, think that they don't have to get your permission. These people have completely lost their mind. So something spilled over. Something spilled over. They took something way too far. So here we have Knight of Pentacles. You worked really hard on yourself. Wherever you are, you worked really, really hard on yourself. Mm-hmm. So something happened during a Saturn return. So a Saturn return happens every 29 and a half years. So this is like you either made a major move in your life, like maybe you relocated, like physically relocated, geographical location. Maybe you moved away from your kids or, and your kids could be older, by the way. You could have gone through a divorce. You could have gotten married. Something you did was a major event in your life, right? But family overstepped a boundary that caused you nightmares and caused a younger person nightmares. Um, because they wanted their wishes fulfilled, like they had just jumped out of a treasure chest. I mean, but this is a part of a new tradition that you're setting here. It's like, oh no, you worked too hard. You worked too hard to create something. This is what I was talking about. Like somebody worked too hard to create a safe environment where somebody feels protected. So for you, you may not have had a household where there was drinking in a household. You may not have had a household where, um, something, like you could have had a household, even if you had like, like love interest or whatever. The first time somebody felt unsafe, unsafe or unprotected or something around somebody, you could have said, nope, that's the end of that. Even if you thought somebody was a wish fulfillment, you could have number nine the situation quickly. If somebody didn't feel safe around somebody, if somebody didn't feel comfortable around somebody, you could have number nine the situation and went right back on to working on yourself and just going back to working hard. And these energies overstep the boundary, like, so yeah, as far as you're concerned, you cutting everybody off. Everybody who was involved, literally, you cutting all of these people off, and they're wondering why. They don't have to wonder, because you're gonna say whoever you are. You when I say, listen, they have cost you and somebody so much money just to gain money for themselves and a higher reputation or whatever for themselves. So it's just like, and you worked hard for everything that you had. When I say you cutting people off, big money is coming back to you, but as far as you're concerned, they don't exist. Somebody dead to you, and that's for real. This is a judgment card here, and you've risen above the judgment. You've forgiven people, but as far as you're concerned, that's the end of that. They have crossed over a boundary. Whoever this is, they've crossed over a boundary. Yeah, they said something to a younger person. They could have said something to your child, um, about you. Somebody's when I say in a poisonous environment, this is seven of cups here. This is where the devil is in the details, right? So details, if you go back through your memory, if you talk to somebody over the phone or whatever, you know, they could have been recording a conversation, or you could have recorded a conversation where they were disrespectful to you, or they could have said something to you about somebody who died, because we're seeing death here with number nine is death. This is nine, death. They could have said something to you. They could have sounded like they were, they had been drinking, and good and well you didn't raise them in a house with alcohol and none of that mess. So your family went to is your family or the other side of the family, they went way too far over something, leaving somebody feeling unsafe and unprotected, and you weren't around. Here's the four wands here, and went right on to church and started worshiping like nothing ever happened. So somebody is coming home to you, some kind of homecoming or some kind of celebration I'm seeing here, coming to you. But as far as they're concerned, they are not welcome. When I tell you, whoever's family this is, they are not welcome in your home ever, ever again. Because you're a guardian angel. You are a guardian angel. I'm telling you, somebody's an earth angel. You're a guardian angel, because these energies, somebody has been even in a nightmare, walking on eggshells in a freaking nightmare. Like literally went literally thinking that they were going to, it's like they stepped through a door, and when they came out, they were a totally different person, just to cope with a nightmare. And something happened real fast. Here's the Eight of Wands here. So yeah, there's two Aries here that feels like something is their way or the highway, and they were laser focused. They were laser focused on something, talking about you, no doubt. Yeah, they were laser focused. I'm seeing 4 and 8 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. They were laser focused on burning you up, talking about you behind your back. I can tell you this, you being an air sign, they wouldn't have said none of this in your face. None of it. You would have taken that sword out and let them have it. They wouldn't have said none of this in your face. Yeah, they had to do something behind your back. Here's the Seven of Cups here. Like I said, devil is in the details. You would have read them for filth. That's why this right here, these two energies right here, this is what I'm saying. You see snake energy. Now somebody's eyes are wide awake. Like your eyes are wide open now. You had a Kundalini experience. These energies right here are low vibrational, because one, they've been slithering around already. But you having a Kundalini experience or some kind of spiritual awakening about not leaving your youngsters, they could be older than 21. They could be of drinking age, right? But still, if they didn't grow up around that kind of stuff, and somebody constantly saying here, 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 they didn't feel safe or protected around family members. That's the main thing. People that they should feel safe around, right? But somebody they couldn't wait to, I mean, like blow torch you behind your back. So somebody felt one of them succumbed to passive and powerless behavior. The other one was egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. That's why I know something, a lot of drinking or something was involved. Because when somebody left, they were a totally different person, a different, because that's where the demons came out. All this water right here, this where the demons came out. This is sacral chakra energy. Because something happened really, really fast. But stuff is coming out now. And you picked up on something because you're their soulmate. So now your wishes are being fulfilled. So now you pulling out the sword and chopping the head of these snakes off in court while you're in hermit mode. Mm-hmm. This is what you have in common with somebody. It's like you come to light, like something lights up with you when you're in hermit mode because you get a chance to really think about stuff like, okay, this is where your energy, you become enlightened while you're in hermit mode. Like I said, you're safe and protected, but you want to make sure in an environment where your kids are around family members that they feel safe and protected too. If you're not drinking and all of that stuff, you don't have all that stuff around your house and you're not, cases and stuff, beer and brown liquor and all this other stuff pulling up to your front door. If people want to drink responsibly, that's them. But if your kids didn't grow up around this, whether they 20, 30, whatever the case may be, they ain't grow up around there and people go, oh, they're an adult. They should be nobody forcing nobody to do anything. Okay, right. These are people's family members. They know exactly what they're doing. This was directed towards you. This was directed towards you, whoever you are. They knew exactly what they was doing. Because they would not have done something while you were there. Here's the Four of Swords. So you and somebody's wishes are being fulfilled, and you ain't thinking nothing, but you're gonna get some rest after it. Here's a devil card. And guess what? They're gonna demonize you, call you the devil, the devil incarnate. You got a red pitchfork in the back of your closet. You got horns coming out the top of your head. Okay. Whatever. But guess what? You're safe and protected. Let's see what else we have. Somebody met their match. Close out the cycle in love. Treat yourselves to a spa day. Things are flowing to you like water. Yep, you're a star in your own right. You have the gift of premonition. This is forewarning. Source lets you know stuff in ahead of time. Listen to your intuition. The angel of prophecy and wisdom is with you. You have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations and emotions, their moods and feelings, but the spy is now turned on. Nobody had time for this. Family members be acting crazy, because they got some vendetta against you. They want to take it out on your kids and be like, oh, well, nobody, they older, they over 21, we didn't cross any boundaries. Well, how come they didn't do that mess in front of you? Because they know you would have let them have it. When I tell you would have let them have it, you'd have let them have it. That's why these are open enemies. And that's what I talk about with Libras. I'm like, Libras, your ruling planet is Venus, right? Not only are y'all have the ability to see things that's aesthetically pleasing to your eyes, people, places, and things. Y'all find beauty in everything, Libras. Literally, y'all find beauty in everything, right? And so when family members are the ones that create the nightmare, like they're the ones that's creating the nightmares, like behind your back, right? Here, drink this, right? Source is saying to you, you may not, because y'all know I don't promote that, no violence on my channel. My collective community, I'm like, look, keep your vibrations high. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a cold day in hell for real, before they ever have access to your house, for real, if they even know where y'all live. And that's for real. That's really because they inspired by the wrong mess. They still on some teenage mess, just immature as it gets. They still stuck between the ages of 15 through 21 years old. That's their demons. They didn't live out their teenage years. That's the stuff they're inspired by. They're inspired by cussing people out and vibrating low and all of this talking about people behind it. Just the wrong stuff. Other people are inspired by making multiple streams of income, getting out, like, some people are loners. Some people, inspired by other things, hard work, balancing out their healthy work-life balance, starting a new tradition, doing things. Some people are retiring early, starting their businesses, other stuff. They're inspiring by causing people, setting people up, putting people in recording people. I mean, just the wrong stuff. Y'all are not inspired by the same things. That's why Source says, wake up from a nightmare. Wake up from a nightmare. Get aligned with people. Don't matter. It doesn't matter what their skin color is, race, culture, whatever. When people are open book and they're telling you, hey, listen, this is the human race and this stuff is happening, it's more common than you know in other people's families. Get them big ears open and listen. Like, listen. Them ears need to be open as big as satellite dishes, for real. Listen, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. This is happening so frequently in people's families. You still got loved ones, family members who are still competing from some teenage mess with their own family members, causing nightmares with their kids, with you, like your kids, like it could be like a brother or sister or whatever, aunt, uncle, whatever. They feel like, okay, that's where their life ended. They still talking about how much fun they had when they were a teenager. Okay, hello, you 50, 60 years old and you still talking about how you used to hang out on the corners. Read a book. Or listen to an audio book. Oh, crack open a book. Child, what in the world? Get some other ideas. But anyway, so that's what Source is trying to tell you is like, the spy is turned on. I mean, my goodness. But that's some people's demons. And that is why some people don't go to that's why some people don't join certain organizations. That's why some people don't join certain churches, mosques, or temples, because that's all it's about. Coming together just to talk about people behind their back. Don't cast your pearls before swine. This is don't waste good things on people who won't appreciate them. And I'm telling you, y'all not judging people. You're just learning how to rise above the judgment and people were judging you. So it's just saying, hey, look, you're safe and protected. Stay that way. Make sure your kids are safe and protected. Drink more water, self-care, drink water and mind your business. Open some books. Encourage your kids to open some more books. But stay away from this. So yeah, some energies are wondering why your wishes are being fulfilled. Yep. Have faith in your dreams. You're gonna have a lot of downloads and a lot of dreams. I'm telling you. You have a lot of downloads and a lot of dreams. Yeah. So tears are what happen when the ice in your heart melts. Grief. I'm telling you. Release all of that. Wake up from some nightmares. Get a good cry out. But I'm telling y'all, start setting some boundaries with family members because some of these family members, they have not mentally left the old neighborhood. They still talking about when the street lights used to come on. Like what? What was the last book you read? What was that about? Who was the author? What genre was it? Like, I mean, can we talk about anyway? Yeah, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. Even a lot of card readers have, like I said, operating in their purpose. A lot of card readers, you got to learn how to go down to the low frequency, enlighten people, and bring people back up to a high frequency, and let people know, hey, listen, you have options. You really have options. Get up to a high frequency. Fly above all of that. That's not your generational cycle chain and curse that you're breaking, is to get away from energies who, who have been a nightmare to people's kids and their families. When you know people have worked hard, once you find out people have worked hard for what they have, and you got family members who have, can't wait to get their hands on the innocent ones in the family, and they can't wait to get in their ear and start, oh, your mama and daddy, they were this and that, but they met their match. When people worked hard for everything they had, I'm saying a win for you. These family members, they're going to learn today. They're going to learn today to release all that cold-hearted mess. Heart as cold as a snowball. They're going to release it. Because more and more people are starting to tune into readers and psychics and starting to pay attention. Like, a lot of people are highly spiritually gifted. A lot of people have developed a lot of gifts. Have inherited a lot of spiritual gifts. And they want, their kids to feel safe and protected around family members. In the spiritual realm, everything is not about your kids feel like they're going to be preyed upon sexually around family members. Sometimes it's just constantly hearing negativity about you, because other people haven't evolved beyond teenage years. That's all they talk about is just negativity, negative. Like, they can't wait to, and these are some of the parents that's doing it to the, spewing all this hatred. So that's that grandparents spewing hatred to kids about their own kids. I mean, that's a form of sacrificing somebody. Yeah, intuition. 28 may be significant to somebody. Yeah. Telling somebody that somebody is, into sex work, telling people that people are, you need some psychological help, all of this other stuff, all this drinking going on. Like, instead, they the ones that need to drink more water. So you're gonna start listening to your intuition. Your intuition tell you, hey, tell your kids stay away from this one, and this one. They're gonna listen. Somebody gonna listen from now on, because you have a lot of money is coming across your path, and this is how these energies gonna hear you this time. That's why they're gonna hear you loud and clear. A lot of people's families are going to straighten up and fly right and start. Oh, they're going to be so scared to say something negative about two people's kids, about them around the. If they can't say it directly to the parent, they're not going to say it around their kids to them behind their back, because it's caused so many nightmares, and people are just trying to, feel nurtured around family. When these people start getting hit with lawsuits, family members, when they have to come up out of their pockets and they have to start filing for bankruptcy and losing everything they got, then all of a sudden, people gonna be quiet. Confidence is key to success. Somebody has a moon in Leo. hmm People's kids don't go around people's family members to hear all of that craziness. So here's the 8 of coins here. Yeah, some people's family members, they are master. They just like they sitting down at a sewing machine sewing up stuff. They like to sew together stories. They just like to make up stuff, just create stuff. Yep. So somebody was a fool. Yeah, but a Sagittarius is involved in something. Sagittarius and a Scorpio. Scorpio was obsessed with somebody. Somebody's dog died. Something went all around the world. Yeah, they're going to stop talking. That is what I have for you. That is what I have for you. All right.